Okie dokie. You may have heard of this already, but a movie from India is making quite a few waves on the internet. RRR, or Rise Roar Revolt, or seems to have been blowing up on Netflix, and again I'm late to the party, so let's just get into it. Some spoilers ahead. Basic synopsis, we're travelling back to 1920, to when India was under the iron fist of the English Empire. Tyrannical administrator Scott Buxton and his wife Catherine have visited one of the many villages on the outskirts, and after being impressed by a young girl's singing and henna painting, they decided to abduct her from her family. The guardian of the tribe, Komaran Beam, ventures off to bring her back, and at his destination of Delhi, another man by the name of Rama Raju is looking to rise up the ranks of the British Army for his own reasons, and is tasked with finding Beam and bringing him in. A clash between two men is about to shake all of India. Now, the main thing everyone seems to be talking about is the visuals. RRR has some amazing cinematography and action. I'm sure we've all seen the memes of how crazy Indian movies can get, with the mantra of, why not? Coursing through many of their works. I, along with many others, are guilty of laughing at the absurdity of some of the editing and choreography that leaks into meme culture. But this film is able to take all that ridiculousness and keep it somewhat grounded. Honestly, all those scenes from other Indian entertainment we've all seen in the past is clearly just an example of the experimentation that many cultures used to go through in their early days of filmmaking, before we all settled into our tried and true styles. It still has that same uniqueness we've all come to know from India, but in a more easily digestible form. That is to say, it still does get quite ridiculous. The scene of Beam releasing a bunch of wild animals onto a party of poor British soldiers is both a marvel and off the rails. The CG is also blended in quite well. You'll still see it at times. The animals have that unnatural shine to them, and some props have some janky movements, but it's to a level where it's never really a bother or taking you out of the scenes. The story itself is pretty familiar. I'm reminded of Squid Game taking a well-known trope and reshaping it using a different country's culture. Instead of a battle royale using classic South Korean children's games, it's now best friends turn rivals set before the Indian Revolution. If I was to sum it up, it would be like, brother, you are... I'm not gonna even attempt an Indian accent. You can get whatever this is. I have no idea what I'm trying to sound like. You are not my best friend, but my brother. I too see you as my brother, but I must tell you one thing. What is it, brother? I fight for this side of the conflict, brother. Brother, no. Tell me it's not so, brother. For I fight for the other side, brother. No, brother. I can't believe we have to oppose each other. Brother. Even if it's you, brother, I must fight for what I believe is right, brother. So must I, brother. And then they kiss like Romeo and Juliet. Mwah, mwah. I'm kidding. They're not even related. Their bond is just that strong. Alright, so the whole opposing sides thing is really just a misunderstanding due to the both of them hiding their identities. Like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith sort of situation without the hot steamy makeout sesh afterwards. Although, damn, they really could be brothers. Two men that have found the strongest friendship in all of India. It does get a bit corny at times, like how easily Beam is able to get close with Jenny, one of the posh English ladies with access to the English stronghold, despite the language barrier. Although, I feel like the only parts I don't understand are the plot and point dialogue that would have pushed the story along faster. Can't have them getting the job done that easily. Or when Beam and Raju are able to get a bunch of posh Englishmen and women to get down and dirty during that one musical number, not caring about how all the dust they're kicking up is going to ruin their suits and gowns. Although, I feel like you need to have a level of corniness to be able to seamlessly break into song. I feel like that's a given with all musicals. Although, when Beam wouldn't kneel during his public flogging, even while being struck with a barbed whip over and over, continuing to sing through the pain, that touched me deeply. I, along with everyone else in the public, was so moved by that. I completely understand the riot that took place after it. I would have joined it as well. I remember seeing one comment saying that they skipped all the musical numbers because they weren't into musicals that much. But it's such an integral part of the story. I'm impressed how someone can just jump past one of the most emotional sections of this film. I hope none of you guys are doing that, you sick bastards. Also, for a movie with one of their central motives to be equipping their people with the same weapons as the invaders, the guns feel heavily underutilized until maybe the final battle. I guess it's just not manly enough. How could you take your guns out against this hunk of a man who can throw pillars and tigers? You gotta get into some rough and rumble brawling with this alpha. They did explain that the English didn't like to waste their ammo on the inferior Indians. The movie's quote, not mine. So I guess that kind of explains why not many shots get fired. By the time they decided to actually start shooting, our two main characters have both gone through their redemption arcs and have strengthened their bond tenfold. Bullets are nothing to them now. They're on a narrative high. You're going to be cut down like the slices of white bread in the morning. Toast. Actually, that's a lie. I'm more of a Weet-Bix kid. I'm gonna make the Squid Game comparison again, but for a different reason. I feel like there's a ton of amazing sleepers in the Indian or Korean entertainment catalog, but it's only Squid Game and RRR that really break out into the international mainstream. And even then, RRR I feel like doesn't get talked about as much. It's hard to compare to the success Squid Game had. We're seeing more and more stuff from overseas making names for themselves. Parasite is another example. An example I unfortunately have not seen yet because I don't actually watch many movies all that often and I'm trying to change that. We're just following whatever the next big thing is and not really willing to check out what hidden treasures that we could be missing out on because it's buried under mediocre and bad shows. It makes sense. Why would I watch something I've never heard about when there's something everyone is raving over? I'm guilty of it and I'm probably still going to be guilty of it. But it is cool to see more and more unorthodox pieces of entertainment seeping into the public eye. RRR is a great time. I can't wait to see what other stories can be told from all over the world. Thanks for watching, we'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more content, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover. I like talking about anything that interests me. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you all have a good day.